Hey guys, Matt Guzman here, back with another video, and today is going to be about how to get the animation merit badge. And it's similar to the art merit badge because with art, you need to define some vocabulary terms, and then make the actual art, and then tour a museum. With animation, it's like almost the exact same. You just need to define some terms, explain the terms, and then you make your actual animation. And then you tour an animation studio, and then of course, there's the careers at the end. So let's get on to the merit badge. As I was saying before, it's very short, very simple. If you're just looking for a fun merit badge to do, or just need to get a merit badge really quick, then this merit badge is for you. I don't know why that rhymed, but it did. Let's just get on to the merit badge. So moving on to the first requirement. Number 1 is about general knowledge. It says to do the following. A. In your own words, describe to your counselor what animation is. And then B. Discuss with your counselor a brief history of animation. Requirement number 2 is about the principles of animation. It says to choose 5 of the following 12 principles of animation and discuss how each one makes an animation appear more believable. And I'm going to list these 12 real quick. The 12 principles of animation, and remember to choose 5. Squash and stretch, anticipation, staging, slow in and out, straight ahead action and pose to pose, follow through / overlapping action, arcs, secondary action, timing, solid drawing, appeal, exaggeration, and I think that's it. But if you didn't see that, basically you just pick 5 of those and explain to your counselor how those aspects appeal to animation. How does it make it better? So moving on to the third requirement, it's about projects. With your counselor's approval, choose 2 animation techniques and do the following for each. First one, with animation projects, you need to plan your animation using thumbnail sketches and or layout drawings. B, create the animation. And C, share the animations with your counselor. Explain how you created them and discuss any improvements that could be made. So, if you don't know what A is about, it says to plan your animation using thumbnail sketches and or layout drawings. And this is a perfect time to advertise my movie making merit badge tutorial. It's a similar requirement you have to do in movie making, and if it hasn't clicked in your head yet, it's this term called storyboarding, where you draw out what the scenes are going to look like before making the movie. It's essentially the same thing for 3A. You're essentially making a storyboard for how your animation is going to look like. Before you make anything, whether it's a project or whenever you're building something or drawing a comic, you want to make sure you plan out your storyline, even if it's just a simple 5-second animation. It's good to just plan a little bit, but for this one, it wants you to plan your animation using sketches. So depending on what kind of animation you're doing, even if you are literally doing the kind of animation where you're drawing each frame and then moving on, you still want to have sketches beforehand that shows yourself how those are supposed to be drawn. After you plan everything out, you create the actual animation, whether it be online animation, stop motion animation, frame by frame animation, claymation, any type of animation. You just create it and then share it with your counselor. I don't know if you guys know, but on my main channel, Matt Guzman, I used to do stop motion animation, so that was pretty cool. In a second, I'll show you some examples, but you discuss any improvements that you could have made and how you created them. That's why I love doing these tutorials, because it helps you guys how to better manage what you're learning, so you're not just trying to learn heaps of information. If it's all connected together somehow, it makes it easier to learn. The first video I suggested my art mirror badge tutorial. Second video, my movie making mirror badge tutorial. Third video is my how to do a stop motion tutorial, or at least how to plan one. And then my fourth video I suggest you watch is from my main channel, or it's my Voltron stop motion. Do not resist. It's pretty funny. Once again, those links are in the description. Please try to watch them, at least the stop motions, because they take a while to do. But speaking of stop motions, I'm going to show some animations that I've done in the past that you can also look on my main channel. But here are the animations that I've done. This first one I'm showing is my Stickman animation. Basically, it was on the Nintendo DSi Flipnote software, and basically you're just drawing it literally frame by frame. So all this you're seeing, I had to individually draw every single frame, but it was really fun to make, and eventually it turned out good. This one is a stop motion animation. It was my Blue versus Alex that I did a long time ago where I was finally good enough at animation where I could do combat. So it actually looks like they're fighting instead of my much older ones where it didn't even look like they were fighting. And this is when I started to improve on stop motion a lot. The only reason why I stopped is because it takes up way too much time. But yeah, those are my two animations that I thought would be good to showcase. So back to the video. That's enough for me rambling. Moving on to number 4. It says about animation in our world. So A, tour an animation studio or business where animation is used, either in person, via video, or via the internet. If you haven't heard of Nick Patera, he's actually a singer, songwriter, but he's also a 3D animator for Pixar. So if you look up Pixar Studios tour Nick Patera, you can find he actually tours the Steve Jobs building down at one of the Pixar main areas. So it's pretty cool. It is kind of a long video, but it was worthwhile to watch. It's really fun, and he's a really cool person. So having him as the host it made it worthwhile to watch. So that's just the one I saw. And then you need to share what you have learned with your counselor after watching or visiting an animation studio. Moving on to 4B, it says, discuss how animation might be used in the future to make your life more enjoyable and productive. And then share what you've learned with your counselor again. Alright, like I said before, this is a really quick and simple merit badge, and believe it or not, we're on to the last requirement number 5. And just like most others, it's about careers. And all it asks you is to name all it asks is that you name 3 career opportunities in animation, and in doing so, you need to pick one and find the education, training, and experience required for that profession. Once you're done with that, discuss with your counselor and explain why this profession might interest you. And once you've done that, bam, you've got the animation merit badge. So thank you for watching my tutorial on how to get the animation merit badge. If you did enjoy, please like the video, turn on notifications on my channel, and please check out those 4 videos I mentioned, even if you aren't even working on the merit badge. But if you can't be bothered to look at more tutorials, at least watch the stop motion I made on my main channel from Voltron. Once again, thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you all in the next one.